And very soon we shall also have a feeding trough where we can put hay and silage. It is under construction. But currently, they are here picking water from this trough. I think let's get inside. Okay, we are here in a compartment which is used for keeping female goats that have kids, and even those without kids, and they are not pregnant. So in this compartment, as you can see, there is a very special structure there. You can move nearer and have a look at it. This is where we keep our young ones, the kids. It's on a raised ground. No kids are not yet resistant to the cold environment, so they can't sleep here in an open space. So we have this compartment which is raised on timber plank, and we are supposed to have here straw, but at the moment we don't have any kids yet. That's why we don't have grass. So at night we normally remove the kids, we put them here on the straw, then we lock. So it's only the mothers that remains here, plus other animals which are not lactating, or animals that are not pregnant, but females. So this is a special compartment for females. Now, where do they get exercise, especially females? These females have the exit here. So they have a yard on the other side for exercise. This is the yard for females. So during the daytime, they are here in this yard. They can even pick some few grasses that are there. We get back to the other side. This is a compartment where we shall be keeping males. And that's why you can see it is a little bit narrow. Because males, we may not be in a position to keep very many. So it's only the breeding males that will be kept in this compartment. And at the moment, we have only 2 males, the bucks, that are being used for breeding, and this is where they stay. And that is where they go and do exercise. So, goats are kept depending on the categories. You can't just keep females together with males at all times. There is only a specific period whereby the males are supposed to be with the female, especially during breeding. But when they are not breeding, the males are here, the females are there. Then on this side, we have the young females. We keep them in this compartment. The young females are in this compartment. That's where we shall be keeping them, because we don't want them to be disturbed by those mature mothers, by even the back. And when this young female wants to access grass, we allow them, the playing ground for the young females, it is behind there. So there is a paddock specifically for them to go and have exercise. It is an open ground. It is behind where
Hello, I hope you are hearing me.
Yes.
Yes, we've been waiting for many of you to join. We prayed at the very start. Imelda gave us the prayer, and Imelda has a video to play for us this morning so that we understand what she's doing. She recorded it last evening. Imelda, you have the co-host rights. You can share and see if you can play your video. Then take us through your farming activities. Mr. Masaba, you could guide Imelda on technical issues.
Imelda, may you talk to us? What is that you're showing? Is that a camera or it's your screen? Imelda, open your microphone and talk to us. We seem not to be hearing her completely. But she didn't tell me about recording a video. She talked of going live. Maybe she has gone live, but the place where she is. Let me stop her screen. It's like she's stuck. She can't open her microphone.
Teacher, I've opened my mic.
Is that a live video?
No, I recorded it yesterday night.
Okay.
Yesterday evening.
And what are you showing right now?
The video.
Unfortunately, we're not seeing it. So what you do, can you stop sharing and share again the screen?
Okay. Sure, so I have to go to share, then I open my video, yeah?
Yes, please. You have to go to share the entire screen, but you leave your microphone on. Don't close that microphone because you need to talk over it. So you share and it will ask you for, is it drive? But you skip all that and you look for screen.
Okay. Are you seeing it?
No, it has not come. You stopped it instead. You had started it, then you pressed stop. I thought you had intended. Can you share it again? Green button. Imelda, are you using a phone or a laptop?
A phone.
Yes, go to share down there. Have you seen share?
Yes.
Can you tap on it? You tell us what it is showing.
Microsoft OneDrive, Google
yes,
Drive.
Move down until you get screen.
I've tapped it.
Let it start. Is it saying display offer?
Yes.
Yes, accept it.
I've tapped it.
Then go back.
Where?
As if you are going back to Zoom. Just press the back button. Like that. Okay.
Okay.
Take us to gallery if it is the okay.
This is the video.
My name is Nyakisho Imelda.
Teacher, are you getting it?
Yeah, but you start it again. You start it again from the beginning.
I grow green. These are called Akeo in our language. We don't know their name in other languages, but these are the mature ones. I'm just learning. My name is Nakesho Imelda, and I have here my project of greens, as you can see them here. These are greens. I don't know the way they are called in English, but for us here in Tororo, we call them ba. So I have here my small garden of greens, as you can see, and I've been watering them. So, like for us here, it's not raining, it is just shining. I water them every evening. like this. Like for me, I don't have a watering can, but I'm soon getting one. I water my greens every day using a basin. As you can see, the one I'm watering there. You have to water them such that water flows all over the garden so that they look healthy. Not only greens, but I also have here dodo. As you're seeing this dodo here, this one is the mature one. It has grown old. And like the way that this one I no longer water it, you can see these are the seeds, the upcoming seeds. They have not yet matured, but they are soon maturing. When they turn real yellow, that's when they mature. So this dodo here is old. That's why I also put another small garden here of dodo. As you can see, I'm watering the young ones. They've just come out, as you can see them. They are too small, they are too tiny. I don't know whether you're getting them, but they are too tiny. So I'm watering them also, so that they also grow healthy, as you can see. But before digging this place, I put your manure, cow droppings, like those such stuff, cow droppings, chicken droppings, and many other droppings. As you can see here, this is all my garden of what? Of bo. I don't know what they're called in English. As you can see, for my grow greens for us here in our village. This one I also don't know its name in English, but for us here in Jap, for us we call it akea. As you can see them. These ones have already flowered. Now I'm going to just plant others. These ones here have already flowered. As you can see them. It's also quite a small garden, but I'll improve to grow bigger ones. As you can see also, I have here Entula. It's just only one that I planted just for testing, you know. Just want to see the way to grow and the way. And when I see that it's good, then I'll add more. As you can see, it has already started flowering. As you can see this. Hope you're seeing it. They said flowering is going to put on. So this is my small garden, and I'm glad that I made this here in our village. And you're not suffering of veggies. Other people are suffering and just coming by from us. Thank you for listening. I'm Atigangeses in Yawan Central. Thank you very much.
Mr. Matsaba, we have some questions for Imelda in the chat.
Okay, Imelda, you may stop sharing your screen and you answer some of these questions.
Okay.
Imelda, the question is, where do you get the manure? And is it working with some youth? And are you working with some youths on your village? The first question is, where do you get the manure?
Okay, like for us here, we have sheep. I rear sheep, goats, and cows. So that's where I get the manure from. Thank you.
Okay. The first question was that, and the second question is, are you working with some youths on your village?
No, I'm not working with some youths because they're not willing. I just work with my 2 young sisters.
Okay, that is very good. Then Patrick is asking you, remind us of the local name of the greens. Maybe we can find it in English or the botanical name. Can you remind us? If you can type it in the chat, the better. Remind us of those local names. The first one was what?
The first one was Bo, and the second one was Akeyo.
Yeah. Bo means what? Yes, someone should help us translate what Bo means and Akeyo, if that is what you said. Yes, we are going to get that in English so that it can be very good for you to write about it when you get to the blog space.
Okay.
Let me know if you started blogging. Have you started? Yes, you need to blog about that kind of crop you're growing. And yes, maybe Brian has the English word here. Yes, Mr. Brian, you can go on.
Thank you, Mr. Masaba. Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Thank you. The presenter's name is Nyakecho.
Yes, Nyakecho.
Yeah, for presenting. The vegetables, I think the first one is cow peas. How they were looking like, they looked like cow peas. And then the second one is what we call the spider flower. In Uganda here, we call it jobyo. And that is what I wanted to highlight. The other thing is that there is need for improvement in how she's growing her vegetables. The garden, she needs to, I don't know if we shall be able to demonstrate how to construct or how to set up a raised vegetable garden so that next time she has a properly established vegetable garden in a way that will help her save the water she puts in her garden, but then also her crops will grow better next time. So we can arrange and have a demo showing how that is done properly. And maybe I want to ask her, when does she water her crops?
Melda, when do you water?
Okay, I water my crops every evening.
Okay, that is great. So you are doing it at the right time. All right, thank you so much.
But teacher, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Teacher, you're talking of the cowpeas, yeah? But they are not cowpeas. The cowpeas are also different. There are also three green leafy vegetables, but they're not cowpeas.
Spell for me bo so I can write it here and then I can help you.
Okay, teacher, I don't know the spelling in the local language.
Do you have a clear picture of that, Bo? Do you have a clear picture? Or it is only the video that you have?
I have a picture.
Yes, you can share that picture again. Just share the screen and show us that picture if you have that picture. And if you were near to that plantation, you could have just showed us using your video. But the picture would do well.
Are you getting it?
That is a video. That is
the picture.
That is the picture.
Yes.
Brian, you can see the picture here. Is this not? I'll leave it there. Is this not gold? How do you call it?
Mr. Masaba.
I don't know this one. Maybe teacher Esther.
Mr. Masaba.
Yes, rested.
Bo is gobe.
Is gobe.
And gobe is cowpeas.
Are you sure? No, Mr. Brian.
Yeah, mpindi.
Gobe is impindi.
Mpindi is what? There are also small peas. What is their name?
Very true.
Are they called chicken peas?
I don't know, but I know it's gobe. It's my totem.
Oh,
this is gobe.
You don't eat them. Oh, okay, they are called pigeon. Hello?
Yes, teacher.
They are called pigeon peas.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So you gave us a great way of doing research.
She has given it manual. Gobe is eaten, I think.
It is eaten. It is a vegetable.
Okay, Melda, thank you so much. Yes, it's a good one. And Imelda, I think you have other questions here. These hands again went down. Okay, if you still have a question for Imelda, can you put up your hand such that you ask her before she was good. Right, I think we don't have any other question for her. Imelda, maybe I saw in your comment while you were applying to present, there is that comment you had written. Maybe may you mention it here?
Which comment?
You wanted to advise the students to do what?
Okay, I advise all the students to also grow greens because it is good for our health and for our body also, not just eating meat every time, but also greens.
Okay, thank you so much. There is Gabriela here maybe has a question for you before you go, but you can stop sharing the screen. Gabby?
It's still on.
Yes, stop
No,
it.
I just wanted to show my garden.
Oh, Gabby, you're showing us the rabbits, not so?
Yes.
Okay, but you'll be given chance later. Maybe Mr. Dung, you'll have to give her some rights. Okay, we will be moving away from Imelda, and we must thank you for showing us your garden. You made us do some research like Mr. Brian has just told you.
Mr. Masaba, Favor, Margaret are already on the call, and I think they are also ready to show us their garden.
Yes, Mr. Dungu was the first here, such that we can move with the first
Favor was the next, and then Margaret, and then Gabby can come.
Okay. Favor, you can go on.
And we also would like to welcome Mr. Chibirige and Teacher Esther, who are our moderators this morning. I think Favor has the rights already.
Favor, can you talk to us? We need to find out.
Okay. Praise God.
Amen.
Good morning, our beloved holistic teachers and all friends there. My name is Favor Esther Msasis from Caring Heart Secondary School in Wakiso District. I want to thank you very much, our teachers, for this chance given to take you through the video of my coffee garden. Here we go.
But we are not seeing anything.
Hold on. Please hold on.
Favor, are you going to play for us a video or you're showing us directly from your garden?
Please, I'm going to play the video.
Okay.
Mr. Mazawa, maybe Favor needs assistance in those steps. Do A, B, C, D, like you did for the first presenter.
Okay, Favor,
Yes,
are you
please.
hearing?
Yes.
Can you tap on share the screen? Have you tapped on share the screen?
Yes, please.
Don't share the video. Don't share the camera. Just share the entire screen. You move down OneDrive. You move until you get screen. When you tap on share screen, what do you see?
Wait. On
Favor
screen.
Esther.
Yes, please.
What does it show?
I've got a minute. Zoom, then I'm going to allow the permission.
Yes.
I'm disturbed. It's not working. Pardon? I'm not getting you. I'm a bit disturbed. Oh.
Do I have that video? I'm saying, did you send that? Good.
Yes, I sent it, the coffee video. Yeah.
But just play it from there. I can see videos over there.
I'm disturbed.
Okay, I'm trying to check. Is it the coffee video?
Yes, teacher, it's the coffee video.
Can you try as much as possible? Try to play it again. You never know, it may play. I'm trying to also quickly see if I can have it played from here and you receive questions.
But Mr. Masao, we can see the video. Maybe she just needs to tap the play button and also open her mic, or open her sound, because we can see it on the screen.
Okay.
Are you
now getting me?
Not yet. Now play it. We had started getting the sound from you, but you have now muted. Play the video again.
We are hearing, Mr. Maybe you increase some volume.
When we talk of coffee, coffee is a
Are you getting me now?
Now the challenge was me, I played it from here. Unfortunately, I was hearing to the mic. Now, Favor, can you stop it? I pray for you.
Okay.
Stop it. Now, me, I was listening to mine. I thought it was giving audio. Let me hope that is the right video.
Please, it's the one.
Today I take this opportunity to welcome you to our meeting. What is a trip?
So your network is poor.
There are types of coffee: Arabica coffee and Robusta coffee. For my coffee is planted using seeds prepared from the nursery bed. These are before planting. We first dig a hole.
Adding dry decomposed cow dung You lost the polypen. Gently put the
Mr. Masao, your network is not so clear. I suggest that we go, in the meantime, we go to the next presenter who is ready to share their video, so that you send one of us her Feva's video and we share it later. Because right now we are not getting anything. You could send us a WhatsApp and then we can download her video and share it on your behalf or on her behalf. Thank you.
We had Margaret ready. I don't know, but look at Margaret. Are you ready? Are you taking us to your farm?
Yes, I'm ready.
Are you taking us to the farm? Could you share your screen? Or
I'm
share?
taking it.
Okay, open your video and let us go to your farm.
Good morning, everyone. I'm welcome, Margaret. Share, can you see my video? Share, can you see my video?
Yes, I'm seeing.
Yes, we can see your video. We are seeing your video, but maybe you need to change it the other way around so that we don't get your selfie, but the other mode for presentation. Yes. Okay. But in the meantime, you can tell us what your enterprise is about, and maybe introduce.
This is my Irish potato garden.
Your Irish potato garden. Okay. You need to change from selfie to the other behind camera. It will give you a better video.
Can you see?
Yeah, we can see you now. So if you can, yeah, we can see. But now you need to remove your farm. And then I think there are some people digging in your background. You need to ask them to stop. Otherwise, the video has some sound in it that will disturb your sound.
So there is nobody around.
I don't know why there is some background. Let me check you. Okay, you continue.
Is it clear now?
It is very clear now. We had that challenge from Hannah, but we have muted her. Okay, continue, please.
This is my Irish potato garden. I planted them 5 weeks ago. To germinate out of the soil, they took like 1 week to germinate out of the soil. I water my crops in the early morning and in the late evening. But since it had rained last night, I cannot water them. They have gotten enough water. The reason why I decided to use sacks, it is because we never had a big piece of land. So I decided to use the sacks that it also helps the soil, because these polythenes are also dangerous to the soil. My Irish potatoes, the fertilizers I use, I get them from a nearby farm. I use cow dung and I also use chicken droppings. My crops haven't yet been affected from any diseases, but the diseases I only know are bacterial wilt and brown rot. But my crops haven't yet been affected from any of the diseases. As you can see my garden. And I also thank you for viewing me. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. Kindly introduce yourself. Where are you? Which school do you go to? Which class are you? And why Irish potatoes?
I'm going to Iganga SS because I'm just senior one to be.
Oh, okay.
We are in Namugongo. The reason why I decided to plant Irish potatoes because they were the ones that were most available. They're the ones I could easily get. The ones that I like to grow. The ones. That's it.
Okay. So
and I also get products. If we get like a big piece of land, and I also plant Irish potatoes, we can get many products out of them.
What do you mean many products? Do you mean
like
a big harvest?
If you like Irish potatoes, you can get chips out of them. You can also sell them on market. Then
okay.
You also make Irish potato crisps out of them.
I get you now. I thought you can eat the leaves as vegetables. That is what I thought. Okay, so how do you mix the soil that you use in these polythene bags?
At first, I get the soil, I mix it with the fertilizers, and then I put the soil in the sacks, and then I put water, then I put the Irish potatoes. But I do that in the morning or in the evening when there is no heat from the sun, because the sun can dry the soil and the plant protecting the plant.
Okay. You said you mixed manure and the soil. You know the rate of mixing. How many wheelbarrows of manure did you use in how many wheelbarrows of soil? Do you know that?
No, I never calculated, but I just got like a wheelbarrow of soil, and also I just mixed the wheelbarrow.
Okay, maybe next time when you are mixing your soil, try to use the 2 wheelbarrows of soil. Actually, 3 wheelbarrows of soil in 1 wheel and 1 wheelbarrow well decomposed manure. Okay. I also want to mention that you should avoid overspraying your Irish potatoes in case they don't have any pests on them. So there is a question in the chat. How do you intend to cook your Irish potatoes when you harvested? Are you going to do French fries? Are you going to chips? Are you going to do crisps, or are you going to cook them the everyday style? Yes, Margaret. How are you going to cook your Irish potatoes? I think she's off. Okay, when she gets back, I think she'll be given a chance to answer. There's a hand from let me see. Sorry. There are 2 hands up. One from Gabriela. Gabriela, what is the matter?
I think Gabriela already said her thing. She wants to present, but she was told to present after the other people are finished.
Yes, Mr. Masawa, is your network better so that we can have Favor's presentation displayed? Last time it was very difficult. Kindly. All right, thank you.
I greet you in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. My name is
That
Favor.
is better. Thank you.
In senior one at Caring Heart Secondary School in Wakiso. Today I take this opportunity to welcome you to tour with me my coffee garden. When we talk of coffee, coffee is a tree crop which puts on fruits which are called berries. So these are the berries we need. There are two types of coffee, Arabica coffee and Robusta coffee. For my case, I grow Robusta coffee. Coffee is planted using seedlings prepared from the nursery bed. These are the seedlings. Before planting, we first dig a hole. Add in dry decomposed cow dung. Peel off the polythene. Gently put the coffee into the soil. Cover with the soil. When it grows up to this size, you bend it and put a support to allow it to develop several branches. When mature berries get red ripe, then they are ready for harvesting. We lay a cloth under the tree and start harvesting. After harvesting coffee, it is taken for sun drying. I have not shown you how I do it because we are still in my garden. When the coffee berries are well dried, then they are ready for sale. Coffee is the major cash crop of our country. On my farm, it brings a big income to meet our family basic needs. Thank you for visiting my coffee garden. Bye-bye.
Okay, Ben, I think that was the video.
Thank you, Mr. Masawa. That was clear. And thank you, Favor, for that well-shot video. We have a hand up. Benas, your hand is up. Do you have a question for Favor?
Not really, but that is the growing of Robusta. Me, I know the growing of Arabica. So it is also a good idea because in my place I can't plant Robusta. Our place is better for Arabica. So I have a question for her.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for sharing that that insight. And now
it's only that I have what to share.
Oh, let's first get the people who booked their time. So, and I know you presented this week, so let's first give a chance to everyone who has the presentations. And yeah, so Favor, your hand is up. Do you have anything you want to say? Okay,
you can quickly go on.
Mr.
No, I have a question for Esther.
Okay, Esther, kindly let's allow Mr. Muhinda. His hand was up before too, and then you come in later.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brian and the presenter. The presenter showed us well that she adds manure to her pit before planting the seedling. But from what I saw is that she planted the seedling direct onto the manure layer that she put in that pit. That can be harmful in most incidences. Some manure contains urea or ammonia capable of burning the roots of that seedling. So next time when she's planting, at least let her put the manure first, then a layer of soil, and then the seedling on top, so that the seedling roots do not feed directly on the manure, which is capable of burning them. Thank you.
Yes, please, but I was a bit clear. I added in dry decomposed manure. I first decompose it and then it's dried. I first let it get decomposed and dried, then I add in the setup.
Yeah, thank you, Favor. You see, we always make it a precaution. So when people are using manure when planting, we ask them to put a small layer of soil because many of us don't wait for our manure to decompose fully. But if you say your manure had decomposed fully, then that is okay. But it is just a precaution for you because you might lose all your seedlings when they're burnt by the manure, like Mr. Muhinda has mentioned. Okay, so you need to do that as a precautionary measure every time you are starting your garden, be it a coffee garden or any other garden. You have a small layer of soil put on your manure to kind of give it a perfection. Okay?
Yes, thank you so much for the advice.
You're welcome. Teacher Esther had a question for you. Teacher Esther, kindly do that, and we'll move on to the next presenter.
My question is, usually coffee berries have a lot of, there are some insects which really bite on those berries. How do you harvest the berries when those insects are there, or what precautions do you take to make sure that they don't, what do they call it?
Yes, please, that is very true. There are some insects, but what we do before we harvest, when the berries are ready for harvesting, what we do, we first spray with some spray. I don't know, I've forgotten that it's called rocket. We first spray with it, and it's not harmful to the berries. So we first spray to the coffee tree, and then we harvest when the insects have died.
Isn't it harmful?
So you were...
No, it's not harmful to the berries.
Okay, she was mentioning to the people. Okay, but you mean the insects that are already in the coffee plantations, those biting insects to the people harvesting?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
those ones you can, those ones you have to first spray with a pesticide, and then you can have your coffee garden harvested like she mentioned very well. Okay, thank you, Teacher Esther. And thank you, Mr. Muhinda, for the insight and for the advice given to our young farmer. Maybe Favor, I wanted to ask how much do you get from each, how much in terms of kilograms do you get from each plant in your garden? The average.
On average, from every tree, I get like 1 kilogram.
Like 1 kilogram. Don't you think that needs to be improved on, because 1 kilogram is at the lowest? Okay.
At average.
So, yes. You see, average should gives you what everything has given you divided by the number of trees. And I think at least a tree should give you over 10 kilograms. So if you're getting 1, you have 9 less. You get. So that is it. But thank you so much for the presentation.
Mr. Brand.
Yes, please.
I'm sorry for coming in, but before the presenter leaves, For learning purposes, I don't know, does she know the entire coffee value chain? Like after she has produced her coffee, does she know she gets it back in her cup of tea?
Okay.
Pardon?
Okay, so you add value to your coffee. Do you know the other benefits apart from the fresh berries that you harvest? Do you know any other products that we get from coffee? Because
yes.
Okay, what is that?
Yes, because these fresh berries are then we sun dry them. They are sun dry to get coffee, some coffee with the salt to get coffee drinks.
Okay.
Drinks that are made from coffee, and even coffee that is put on tea.
Okay. Thank you. I'm glad you know that. But you see, we are trying to promote value addition. So you might see that from that small garden at home, but also from the neighboring farmers, you can start a group or a circle, and then you start your value addition enterprise producing your favorite coffee, and then you start buying it, and then that will help you make money in the future. Okay.
Okay, teacher, thanks. That is a very good advice.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. Masawa, who is the next presenter, please? You can stop sharing this video, then we get to the next presenter.
It was Mr. guiding us.
Before the next presenter, there's a question in the chat.
If somebody takes coffee, can they put in the chat?
Someone is saying that, how do you sell your coffee and to who?
Oh yeah, teacher Agnes, yes. But also Mr. Dung has a question. How do you sell? Who do you sell your coffee to? Do you sell it still wet, dry, and who buys it?
Oh, we first sun dry the coffee, and then it's sold in kilograms to local buyers, to local sub-county buyers. It's where it's whom we sell them to.
How much is a kilogram? How do you sell a kilogram?
It varies, but for me, the kilo, I sell it at 3,000 Ugandan shillings.
Okay, that is good money. Okay. Yes, teacher Christine, your hand is up.
I just want to ask Favor whether she knows that the coffee husks cannot. I don't know whether Favor is aware. If she can actually do that, she'll even get more yield using the coffee husk. After grinding, she should take back the coffee husks to the garden as manure.
Okay, thank you so much. I think now here she sells her coffee with the husks. She sells the entire belly. Maybe at that point she might need to go back to the people who bought from her, and then she buys from them the coffee husks. But yes, yeah, it is a good practice to put manure back into the garden, because that helps to replenish the fertility of the soil. Okay, thank you. Teacher Esther, you might... There's another question.
Yes, which distance do you use to space the coffee plants from Benson?
Oh, distance, the planting space.
It's 2 meters from each coffee tree. For me, the distance, I make a distance of 2 meters from each coffee tree.
Okay. All right, thank you. Mr. Dung, you had an inquiry, but we had someone else speaking, so we didn't pick it well.
No, I just wanted in the chat for whoever drinks coffee to say yes, coffee, so that we count how many people are for coffee as we think about growing coffee.
I drink coffee, and actually my tin has just got over, so yes, coffee. Mr. Dung, do you have a free package?
Actually, coffee is a remedy for headache for those people who have been operated on and they have a side effect of headache. It is a remedy. They usually encourage them to take it. So I think it is a good product. Even me, I take coffee once in a while.
And the teacher Esther also take coffee, but while we were studying in A level, when math became very hard, they used to tell us to take coffee such that we don't sleep. And when we could take coffee, surely we could discuss many numbers and we could not sleep. Maybe the remedy might have forgotten it, that it takes away.
Mr. Chividige, the coffee stories can go into the chat. Gabriela has dropped. I think she was time bad, but Wanyara is here. I think Wanyara is the next presenter now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dungu. And I ask Teacher Esther to moderate on the next presenter. Thank you. Mr. Masaba, kindly guide Wanyera on what to do so that we can see his screen.
Wanyera, maybe you should unmute first.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Wanyera.
Yes, I want to share a video.
Please go ahead.
Because where my garden is, there is no clear network.
Please go ahead and share your video, Benas.
Are you able to see the screen first of all?
Not yet.
Okay. The way this thing is. Are you seeing?
Yes. We are seeing your screen, Wanyera, Benas.
Okay. Hiya. Hope you are.
Yes, we are seeing, but we are not hearing. Open your mic so that we can hear. We can see a very nice cabbage garden.
Okay.
No, we are not hearing. Open your mic.
Where then again?
Mr. Masava, could you help Wanyera to open the volume of his mic?
Now, phones rarely play that audio. I wonder how the first presenter managed to do it, but normally that is what happens. Let him just talk about that garden. Otherwise, we may not hear anything. And that is normally what phones do.
No, Mr. Masaba, let him leave his audio open.
Are you seeing?
Yes,
Yes,
we are seeing Benas, but we can't hear. Maybe you can talk about it as we are seeing.
Just, Benas, can you remove the volume from your side such that you don't hear anything and you just talk about it?
Okay.
Just remove the volume, then you assume as if you're in that garden, because for you, you're hearing and for us, we can't hear.
Okay. I've taken you back.
That is
okay.
Again, there, you can start from there.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm called Wanyera Benas, a student at Mbale Senior Secondary School, doing mathematics, economics, geography, sub ICT. as my combination. Before you is a garden or a farm of cabbage. And first and foremost, the type of cabbage grown, the type of cabbage you are seeing is F1 Gloria. It is the best type of cabbage which is grown around the slopes of Mount Elgon. The cabbage you are seeing before you is just a small portion. Why did I decide to plant a small portion? Because of the little capital I had and my emphasis, as I showed you last time, my farm of tomatoes and how I tested the other garden. I now brought much of the cabbage in this small farm because here it was open, there was no big crops. Now, this type of cabbage is easily grown. It does not require much effort like tomatoes. When you, after buying the seedlings, after buying the seeds from the shop, you go and make a nursery bed. From the nursery bed, you will transplant them to the main garden. And this cabbage you are seeing is now 2 months since the time of planting, of transplanting. I am now giving it 2 weeks, I will have harvested. After transplanting your cabbage in the main garden, it is given 3 days and the fertilizer is applied. That is DAP fertilizer with NPK. Cabbage does not necessarily need spraying every week like tomatoes. Cabbage is sprayed once in a while. The only work that is there, much of the work which is in the cabbage, it is weeding. Then application of fertilizer. You cannot easily apply this local manure in cabbage. It is only applied when the land is not yet, you have not yet transplanted. But this one, we mainly use these artificial fertilizers. So it is a small piece of land, and I have told you that the weight of my cabbage I planted, it is 10 grams. That is F1 Gloria, and that is it all. It is not affected much by the pesticides once you spray it when you give it a specific duration, not more than 2 weeks, of course, because once you delay and the pests attack it, it will be very, very difficult to fight the pest. Unlike tomatoes, where you can easily fight the pesticide. I mean, you can easily fight the pest. I remain Onyala Benas, a student at Mbali Senior Secondary School, doing mathematics, economics, geography as my combination, and any question concerning or any advice towards my garden is welcome. Thank you. I submit.
Thank you, Benas, for the presentation of the cabbages. Maybe my question would be, do these cabbages become very big? Will they be big after 2 weeks? Benas, are you with us? Benas?
Hello? Yes.
Remember, we had told him to remove the volume. Maybe he has not added the volume.
Okay, Benas.
Okay. Benas, now add the volume such that you can hear us.
Yes, you can now talk.
I have quite a lot of questions in the chat, but you start with mine.
Yes.
Will these cabbages be of the required size in the market in 2 weeks?
Yes, they will. So long as there is rain. I have just applied some urea fertilizer in those leaves, and I am so sure that within 2 weeks they will be ready for consumption.
And they will be big enough.
Yes, only that when there is much water.
Okay. Okay, there are some questions here in the chat. They are quite a number. I will read from the last one. Alvin is saying, which seeds do you use? Artificial or natural?
I use artificial.
Okay.
That is F1 Gloria.
Okay, then someone is asking how long, Susan is asking, how long does it take to mature?
From when it is a seed, you buy a seed. When you have bought a seed, you will take it to the nursery bed. It will take 3 days. It will have 3 to 4 days. It will have germinated. You will give it 3 weeks when they are still on the nursery bed. Then you do what we call transplanting. So generally on the nursery bed, the seeds take 1 month. That is 4 weeks.
Okay. Then to grow, it takes?
It takes 2 months and some, of course, this one, since I transplanted, they are now 2 months and actually 2 months and a half. They will have be grown and ready for consumption.
Thank you very much, Benas. Someone is asking, where do you buy the seeds?
I buy from the agricultural shop just here in Mbale, and in agricultural shop, those ones mainly. And the best seeds, by the way, they are transplanted. The best seeds we grow here are from Kenya.
Then another one is, then someone else is asking, aren't the fertilizers harmful?
No, fertilizers are not harmful. Why? Because they are meant to boost our crops. So the fertilizers I apply, they are not harmful. The fertilizers are meant to boost crops to grow well. That's why you see my cabbage is healthy. If you had not applied any fertilizer in this cabbage, it would not look like this, my fellows.
Then another person is asking that how much do you sell each cabbage?
For us in this local place of ours, it is a mountainous and local place. In order to get at least some good profit, you are supposed to transport this cabbage to those big centers. So each head of a cabbage in my place is at 300, 500. But when you reach those ends of Mbale City, Sironko, and those ends where you are in Kila, in Kampala, those ones, I hear the cabbage is so expensive. Even I used to buy when I was still in my O level in Moroto. We used to buy each head of cabbage at 4,000. But now here, as where we are growing cabbage, we are buying at 300. It's a very big pity.
Someone is asking, is it only on the slopes of Mountain Elgon that we can grow cabbages?
Now, with that, I am only sure cabbage grows well on the slopes of Mount Elgon, because I myself tried on the slopes of Mount Moroto. It failed. I know it grows well on the slopes of Mount Elgon, but I tried on the slopes of Mountain Moroto. It failed.
What could be so special about the slopes of Mountain Elgon?
Historically, Mount Elgon is having very fertile soils that boost agriculture. Historically, everyone knows that Mount Elgon has fertile soils. So it's so special that they also use these local manures they put in their garden, which and after that they decompose, which also boosts their fertility level. But historically and generally, I see the slopes of Mount Elgon are so fertile.
So so that means that cabbages need a very fertile land in order to grow very well.
Exactly, because what you must know is this: those ends of actually from these slopes of Mount Elgon, when you go downwards to those ends of Sronko, those ends of Teso, cabbage does not grow well. It grows well mainly on the slopes. Cabbage and onions, they grow mainly on the sloping areas.
Okay. Someone is asking here that what pests usually attack the cabbages, and how do you control the pests?
I want to tell you that myself, I failed to understand that pest. The name is so hard for me. I don't know, that's why I failed to do agriculture or what, but I know the pest is it a worm or a cabbage worm? I don't know, but I only fight the pest using the chemicals, like these chemicals of, it is called Dudu. I apply Dudu. I also apply the one called it is called, I've forgotten, but I'll type it in the chat when I remember.
Okay, Bernard, someone is asking here that if a cabbage is sold at 300 to 500 shillings, do you get profit?
I really don't get profits on this small farm. I will only get a loss. But mainly, this, when you see this small farm, it is a half. When it is cut, when it's time for harvest has reached, it is a half a truck. So I sell in wholesale. I give to those people who take their cabbages to markets, to big centers. So the ones which will remain behind will be the ones to be taken to these small centers. But how to get these profits? I have to sell it in wholesale to the big businessmen who take to the big centers. That's how I can get some profit. I don't sell a profit.
Someone is asking what happens when you raise the price of the cabbages. Is there too much competition that many people are growing cabbages? That's why you sell them cheaply?
Yes, cabbage is so competent. But nowadays, we have a problem this side, that when we grow something and there is much competition, people leave. And when we don't grow, people also ignore. So this cabbage you are seeing here, it is on the market. I am so sure that there is market for cabbage now. Why? Because very many people have not grown cabbage.
So you will not sell it 300 shillings?
No, I am going to sell this head of cabbage. I'll not sell it per head, but I'll sell it in wholesale to a big businessman who will come with his or her own truck. Then you'll buy it in wholesale. I'll sell it knowing that I must get some profits.
Okay. There are some people
now, I know I have invested in around the 150, but I can sell it above 150.
Then you will make profit.
Yes.
So, Benas, that means that sometimes you make profit, sometimes you make loss.
A total loss, actually. You make a total loss. You can not even sell one if there is much competition. And you know, cabbage, ready, it starts rotting.
Okay, on call we have some agriculturalists. I think they would like to say something. Brian, I see your hand up. Mr. Chibirige, Brian. Okay, Mr.
Okay, sorry, I think I wanted to mention that Mr. Muhinda's hand was up.
Mr. Muhinda, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Esther and Mr. Onyala. Mr. Onyala, there's nothing like making a loss in cabbage. Why should you? Please don't. And this cabbage is not automatic that the moment it is ready and there is no market, it will rot. Please ensure to add value to your cabbage. November, December is always a bumper harvest season. So if you go to the market today or tomorrow, you'll find a lot of cabbage in the garden, in the market. What you do, harvest all your cabbage, hire a few women, 1 or 2, buy them knives and chop that cabbage into fine pieces and dry it. After drying it, wait for the hunger season, probably around March, April. There will be so little greens and vegetables on the market. Sell your cabbage around that time when it is dry. You'll have it, you'll fetch a good price. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the pest control. From what I see, it looks like you delayed to control the pest because I can see some holes that were drilled in your cabbage leaves, and that should be either the cabbage. It should be an aphid. Yes, probably the aphid is what bore those holes. So next time, spray on time. You need to be checking your garden every day. So the moment you see an aphid, spray the next day because those things produce very fast. And then lastly is you haven't controlled the weeds much as you talked about them. I can see the bed of your garden is so green with weeds, and the competition there will not allow your cabbage to give you the size that you want. So next time, weed on time and make sure you mulch to control the weeds from resprouting. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muhinda. But now my question would be, Mr. Muhinda, if someone does that, dries the cabbages, as you're saying, aren't we using some nutrients?
Using some?
Aren't we losing some nutrients in the process of drying them?
No, you're not losing the nutrients. It is like drying maize. When you dry maize, Teacher Esther, you don't lose any nutrients. You just lose the water.
Because they tell us that vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin. And usually when you dry it is a very unstable vitamin, which is found in vegetables. So don't we find it that when you dry it, it will be lost, the vitamin C?
I can agree with you, Teacher Esther, that you may lose the vitamin, but now as a farmer, you need to look at both sides of the mirror and tell, do I go for the vitamins and fetch a small price, or add value, lose the vitamin, and I fetch the profit? So you have to decide between the two. I think fetching the profit is better.
Thank you very much, Aminda.
You're welcome.
There's some Mr. Benson who had put up his hand. I don't know whether I've asked his question because I'm not seeing.
Esther, don't forget we have Nanyonga Vivian as the last presenter, and we are running really late.
I think we shall have our last submission by Mr. Chwili.
Yes, thank you. So I wanted to mention that in order not to lose the vitamin C, which you have actually elaborated that is very unstable, we do what we call solar drying. So that's when Benson would come ahead and use his physics to construct a small solar dryer to have his cabbages dried so that in the he can preserve his cabbages for the next season when not so many farmers have produced. But then the drying of the cabbages, he needs also to do a lot of sensitization because people are used to the fresh and green. Now you are going to be presenting to them the white and dry. So he needs to do a lot of sensitization. That's what I wanted to mention.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I think Benas has really learned a lot. Someone in the chat is saying, Benas, that you can as well try to mulch your garden. Maybe when you mulch it, the weeds will be minimal. And I think you've had enough advice for today. Let us have the next presenter, who will be directed by Mr. Chiviriki.
Vivian Nanyonga, are you ready to present?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, take the center stage.
Good morning, teachers and fellow viewers. I'm Nanyonga Vivian, Senior 5. I'm here to present to you what I managed to learn from one of the entrepreneurs from the farm camp sessions. To those who attended the sessions, what I managed to learn from that entrepreneur is the ginger pounding and the rosemary pounding. And me, I managed to carry out the ginger and the rosemary pounding. Now, as you see in front of me, these are my requirements I use. And first of all, while carrying out this entrepreneurship project, you have to be having a face mask. As you see me, why do you put on a face mask? To prevent that dangerous substance from the ginger from entering your nose, because it's dangerous to your health. Though the ginger is helpful to your health. Then first of all, I managed to buy my ginger, a polythene bag of ginger at 20,000. Then after buying it, I pounded it in this mortar, but this one is for yesterday. I pounded it in this mortar. Then after pounding it, you first wash the ginger. After washing the ginger, you pound it for the first time in this mortar. Then after pounding it, you dry it under direct sunshine. But for me, I used this sauce, this one, to dry the wet ginger under direct sunshine, and it will dry for 4 to 5 days. After drying, you pound it again for the second time, and this is what it became after drying it, after pounding it for the second time. Then after pounding it for the second time, when you see it is still like it needs more drying, you lay it under sunshine for another time, for the 6th day on this sauce. Then after seeing that it has dried, you come back and pound it in this mortar. Then after pounding it, I managed to get this. Then after, like at this stage, you can see that your ginger has already been dry. Then after pounding it, I get my sieve. I place it like somewhere here. You get some bit of ginger from your saucepan, you place. Then after placing it here, after placing it there, you do the stirring. Why is it called stirring? You do like this. Then after doing like these remains, you pour them in the mortar. Because they need more pounding again. Then you get this is the second step. This is the third step. You also get for the third step, you put. Then after you stir again, then you'll see some substance going down of ginger, but of powdered. Then after powdering it, it will become at this stage. As you see, this one does not have big particles. It's smooth as you see it. So this is the ginger we take
like we buy from the supermarkets. But for me, I make it for myself because I'm an entrepreneur, and this is how it becomes. Then to the same thing, it's the way you do rosemary. Rosemary, you get your rosemary. But for me, first we planted rosemary in our compound. Instead of planting flowers, you plant fruits like tomatoes, pineapples, and rosemary. Like as you see this side, in our compound, by this side we are having flowers, but for this side we managed to plant dodo, onions. You're seeing pineapples. Instead of flowers, for us we planted pineapples, and you're seeing that tomatoes, they are there, they are upgrowing. Then for the rosemary, you're going this side, you see there are pineapples. Then for the rosemary, it's here. This is my source where I get the rosemary. Then you got the same thing you do for ginger. It's the same thing you do. It's the same thing you do to rosemary. You also get your rosemary like this. You dry it under sunshine. Then after drying it, you also pick a stiff, like only these blue leaves, they're the ones which you use to put in the mortar. Then after you also pound them until they become like this. Then after you also, then what I managed to get it was this. From the rosemary I pounded last week. Then for this week, I have managed to pound ginger. Then this rosemary, it is for home consumption because I've not yet grown a bigger project. It's just like a small one for home consumption. And for the health values of this ginger and rosemary, they boost our body and they prevent body weakness. So now, because my father, he's in a late stage, like not too late, but I have to make these things for him and my parents because they have some health problems. That's why I make these things for them because I'm an entrepreneur. And I thank that entrepreneurship man who came out and showed us the way to success of the vegetable species. And as I go on, my project will be large if I get more and more resources. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for sharing, Nanyonga. But maybe just a piece of advice. In most cases, when we put things in direct sunshine, some of the nutrients are hit by the sun. So I advise that instead of putting in direct sunshine, you put in, what do they call it? You put in is it called a shadow, whereby it is not, the sunshine is not direct, but they can easily get the heat. The heat, but
okay.
Not the rays of the sun.
Okay, madam, thank you for that advice.
Maybe there are some 2 questions here in the chat. Someone is saying that, can you look for more old persons in your village to support with your product and maybe grow a market?
I can look for them because there are many. I can look for them.
Okay. Mr. Chidi, do you have any submission?
Well, I don't have any submissions. I just want to thank our presenter for Vivian, is it, for being a fast learner. You see, we just showed the video for making spices in the farm back, and she has come up with the project already. So this is showing how the farm camp is actually impacting already on very many people that we tried to get in touch with during that time. I just want to challenge Vivian to find ways of actually making her product the best on the market. You see, we have the Jinga spices made by so many companies. How is she going to make sure that her product is going to be the best on the market as she's improving on, as she's trying to make more productions? So that is the question I am leaving her to think about. But I want to congratulate her for being a fast learner and for being action-oriented. Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. Even another thing I found, we have the ndizi powder for ulcer people, because I know I have ulcers, so I get those ndizi. I dry them under for me, I was drying them under the sunshine, but as madam has told me, you dry them under the shade. I also get them, I dry them. After drying them, I pound them like the ginger and the rosemary. Then I do the same way. Then I keep them in the containers because I have my routines.
Actually, you can even add on avocado seeds. They are also very nutritious. You dry them the same way and pound them. If you can have a mixture of those, maybe you can make research and make a mixture of avocado plus ginger and rosemary, and see if it can make a good, it's called tea what? Tea. I've forgotten the other name, but you find if it can make a good tea spice, and
yes,
you make a good brand for yourself, because it will be very nutritious and at the same time making your tea very spicy.
Okay, madam.
Otherwise, we are grateful that the farm camp put a very big impact on you and you're practicing it. So many people are saying in the chat, they are very happy to see that you have learned something and you took it up, and you're practicing it actually to even take care of your parents. And we believe that one day it will become a big market for you and you'll become rich out of it, and you'll be testifying that I learned this from the farm camp.
Okay, thank you, madam.
You're welcome. Mr. Dung, over to you.
Thank you, Teacher Esther. Thank you, Teacher Brian. Thank you, Teacher Masava, Patrick, and everyone who has moderated today. Thank you, students. I'm so happy that we are beginning to uncover stories of the young people, great stories that we, the adults, must learn from. And we are going to do whatever it takes to grow these young people into advocates for agribusiness. I like what I'm seeing at Vivian's end. Vivian, you seem to be an entrepreneurship or economic student, but also ICT. Please look at how your curriculum areas can take advantage of this space. With that, I want to thank everybody who has been here this morning, and we shall be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. with the Early Bird Farmer Series. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Glory, as in joyful celebration we acclaim.
Holy, holy, holy Lord, God of hosts, heaven and earth. Hosanna in the highest. Blessed.
Yes, you did. Hosanna. Yeah? Which one? The spelled one. What is spelled? Bye.
Hosanna, Hosanna. Yes, bye.
Mr. Masaba. Mr. Masaba. Mr. Masaba.
Yes, Mr. Dungu.
Ashraf was supposed to present. I see him here. Why didn't he come?
Ashraf was not supposed to present. I think, let me check again. Ashraf was not in this. Ashraf was supposed to. He was supposed to present on Monday, but he forgot. He didn't come. So I wanted him to present today.
Yeah,
but
good morning.
I realized that not included him in the list.
Ashraf, you did come on Monday. What was it?